This is the Inferno Podcast. It's the official podcast of UAB Athletics. Blazer fans, this is the place every week for an inside look into UAB Athletics. This episode is brought to you by Pearl River Resort. Welcome into the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here with Season 3, Episode 13, presented by Pearl River Resort. We appreciate those folks being with us. In our episode rundown today, we're going to take off our shoes and wiggle our toes in the sand. Everybody talks about that this summer. That's what these ladies do for the UAB beach volleyball team every day. We're going to talk a lot of beach volleyball. Here's the rundown brought to you by Legacy Credit Union and the official credit union of UAB Athletics. Head coach Delaney is with us. They just swept in Tampa. They were 4-0 this weekend. They're right there on the cusp of being in the top 25. She's bringing her three seniors in, Olivia Stant, Olivia Chychrun, and Jasmine Haas. All will be here talking about beach volleyball, what grabs them about them, what grabs them about UAB, and what an amazing success story this is. We'll also talk a little bit about UAB baseball. Huge sweep. First time in 10 years sweeping Tulane, and they're sitting there at 18-10 under Casey Dunn this year. UAB softball with a big sweep over East Carolina over the weekend. We'll talk about those things and more. Remember, however you get the podcast, be sure you lock it in and subscribe, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, however you get it, doesn't matter. Be sure you like and subscribe on that. It really helps us out as well. So we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll start it here for this edition, Season 3, Episode 13, the Inferno Podcast. Hang on.
The if in life, it's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno Pod. Scott Griffin here. Time for Coach's Corner, brought to you by Viva Health and Pepsi. A little different this week. We have Coach Delaney of the beach volleyball team, and then Olivia Chychrun, who is not a coach. So I don't know how you got into the room. How did you get in here?
I don't know. I was just told to be here and showed up.
You just showed up. But she's one of the players. We got three players today. So Delaney, welcome aboard. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and tell us a little bit about the beach volleyball team, kind of smoking hot right now.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So we have, actually, you'll be speaking with all three of our senior captains this year. But we've been having a great year so far. Just coming off a 4-0 weekend, 16-9, 3-0 in conference play, right? So, each week I feel like we've just been getting better and stronger and more confident, and it's really been fun to do with these three.
Yeah, and the weekend before, you had a huge upset of a top 25 team here in Birmingham at one of your two tournaments. You've already got one earlier in the year, so you're kind of just ascending through the ranks. We're getting really close to getting ranked, aren't we?
Yeah, last week we got 9 votes towards the top 20. So beach volleyball is one of the, I think, very, very few sports that just does top 20 versus top 25. So we've been kind of hanging out right on that outside of the bubble. But, hopefully as the season ends, we can kind of break our way through.
Yeah. So any chance of that happening this week? When do the rankings come out? No, first of the week?
They'll come out on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing run. You feel like, what's the key to this thing going so well from a player's perspective?
I think this season, what's definitely different is our strength of the teams that we've been playing. And it really feels like even our losses are so close against better teams this year. And just every weekend, we just keep getting better and better. it's so exciting to see.
Yeah. And by the way, if we call her Chicky, that's her nickname, right?
Yeah.
Obviously with Chychrun. So there you go. And another Olivia that we'll have on a little bit later on. So is it seniors? Everyone talks about seniors in coaching is so key. I assume it's the same here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big part of it is when I, got to UAB, I was an assistant my first season, and it was this senior class's freshman year. So this will be my first group all the way through. And, I think a huge testament to our success has been this class and like their leadership and just how they uphold our culture. And now that, we're 4 years into it, it's just like we're a well-oiled machine. And so like I truly feel like this group is peer led, and like that's what's able to make us so successful. It's not all just coming from coaches, it's coming from, the seniors upholding our standard.
All right, so let's get in a little bit of what you and I talked about a week or two ago that I think it's intriguing is this sport is volleyball, obviously, and obviously most of the girls grew up playing normal, what you guys call indoor volleyball, where there's 6 players, right?
Right.
This is 2, and you got sand, and everybody's got to have all-around skills. So tell me your story about where you started and how you ended up in beach volleyball.
So I started in indoor like a lot of people do. Sea beach is now growing, and that some people actually do start just with beach. But growing up in Canada, I started playing indoor, and I actually started pretty late. But just because
Meaning, what, midway through high school?
I was around 13 when I started playing indoor, and I was just tall for my age, and I just thought I should start playing, and I loved it. But I really liked hitting, and I knew that if I wanted to go Division I, I'd be too short to be a hitter in indoor. And so I just started playing beach in the summers, and I ended up like falling in love with it when I was around like 14, 15. And then I went to a sports academy in Florida so that I wasn't in Canada for beach volleyball.
Right.
And then I got recruited by UAB, and that's how I got here.
There it is. Yeah, and give us the coach's perspective of that, because you have similar stories that everybody's got to be a good hitter, a good setter, fender, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think the trend that you're starting to see is if players don't make the height cutoff that they need to play indoor in college, especially the Division I level, they're able to like recognize that sooner, and then there's more opportunities with them for beach. So you'll see a lot of players that are in that 5'6" to 5'10" range in beach volleyball that have tons of opportunities to be successful and play at the Division I level. So I think beach volleyball just creates more opportunities, and like Chippy said, you get to do more things.
Yeah,
regardless of your height.
that's sort of the cool thing, and playing on a beach.
Oh, right. The
How
vibe
cool
is
is that?
so much better. This weekend we were all talking about the music. We have a DJ going on. We're on the beach.
It's like being on the beach playing volleyball, right?
Yeah, we were on Clearwater Beach last weekend, and it was the most amazing environment. Playing on white sand, live DJ, MC, the whole tournament. Like it was the best. We have the best sport by far.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen in other sports. Now, conversely, is it difficult to focus on the task at hand with the beach and everybody in bathing suits, and you know what I mean?
I think it's more the opposite in that sometimes I think other athletes in different sports, your sport can become more like, you do it every day, and as a Division I athlete, you've been doing it for so many years, and some people can really get burnt out. And I think that kind of environment just like reminds you that like you're just playing your sport, and you start like why you started, and you're doing it for fun, and like it's something you do because you're good at it, but also because it's an enjoyable thing to do.
Yeah. So where do you see this sport going? It's blowing up. It seemed like the last 6, 7, 8 years, right? Am I wrong about that? Or
Yeah, no, it's definitely been continuing to blow up. For a while there, it was the fastest growing NCAA sport, and I think it's just continuing to ascend. I think we all kind of hope that they expand the NCAA bracket further than just 16 teams. So I think that would be hopefully the next as more schools start adding beach volleyball, that we can then add more teams to the tournament. But I know for us, we play actually in Conference USA. But there are several schools that are in our conference where the school is in the American Conference. So I think the next big thing for us would be a couple more American schools adding beach volleyball so that we can have an American conference that we can compete in.
So how many conferences are there across America? Probably
9.
9. Okay. So with that 16 teams, it needs to be bigger. Is there a reason that they cut it off at 16 or just haven't expanded that yet? Or
I mean, before it was 8, like it's still the sport. I mean, we're 12 years in. Some people say it's still in its infancy. So it'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah. And tell people about it's at Gulf Shores every year. So the Nationals are right here in our state, which is kind of cool. And you guys have to be hosts all the time. And I know you said you're tired of hosting. You want to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let somebody else host it.
We can host it. We can be there. And, I think that's kind of been a driving, one of our driving forces. We love playing at Gulf Shores. We're already, we've got so much representation there anyway. Let's have the team there as well. So that's why a big goal for us has always been conference play and finishing strong in the conference tournament. So that can be our avenue to make it to NCAAs.
So again, this is kind of a find out about the sport and then educate people. So you have a conference schedule and then you have a conference tournament like basketball. Right? And then the winner of that goes to the national?
Yes.
Is that basically it?
Yeah.
So how many matches will you have in conference?
We have 9 teams in our conference. They kind of do it as a 9-team double elimination over 3 days. And that'll be kind of how it goes.
So where is that tournament this year?
It's going to be in Youngsville, Louisiana. It's a neutral site. That's something also that happens a lot in beach volleyball is you play at a lot of neutral sites. And
See, that doesn't make sense. Home sand, is it that key or?
I think it's more so to be able to accommodate a lot of courts. So they've got the facility we'll play at, we'll have 9 courts. And, the most courts school has on campus is like max 6.
So you come from Canada and then Florida. So you've seen the winters and the indoor, and then I would think where beach volleyball is rampant. And then you come to UAB. Tell me why you chose UAB. And then the facilities here are really fantastic.
Our facilities, we talk about it every time we travel. Even like we went to Long Beach and they're ranked, I think, 11th. And our facilities are so much better than theirs. But I think I definitely chose UAB. There was Canadians here, like we were talking about before. And I was also recruited in COVID. So it was when everyone was getting an extra year, and it was definitely a stressful time. But I committed with the coach that was before Delaney, and so she was our assistant coach my freshman year. And I also chose it. I chose it for the beach volleyball, but also like the academics were a big part for me. So.
And I would think at this sport, that's normal. You've got to recruit the athlete, but they're choosing you for more than just, man, they're really got a good facility and all that stuff. They're choosing you for a lot more reasons, right?
Yeah, and I think that's actually like a huge selling point for us at UAB that we use with recruiting is you can get a high-level academics experience and a high-level athletic experience where we're going to play, the top 10 teams in the country. We're going to travel around, but also you can be in a rigorous major like economics or like nursing and like be successful as a Division I athlete as well. And I don't think that's the case at every school.
Yeah. You agree with that?
I agree. Yeah.
So, and I know the others will agree with that too. So it's just a really cool sport. And I love the fact that everybody gets to do everything. Is it difficult? Setting, hitting, defending, and do it. Yeah. Or is that great about it?
That's definitely one of the things that I loved going from indoor to beach is that it is so much more of like you still have that team aspect, but it is more of an individual sport, and like you have a lot more control over your wins and losses and like how you're performing, and you can really like see that. And I think that's also definitely something that makes it really hard. At practice we could practice 70 million different things.
Yes.
But it definitely is part of that we all love.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right, so talk about, you guys were talking about the court three. She's the all-time winningest player in UAB history on court three. So discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, we like to call it our court three queen. So over her career at UAB, she's had 20 wins on court three, which is impressive, especially a player like Chicky, who's moved around a little bit and has played on, court 3 through 5 mostly. Yeah. So I think that's a huge accomplishment. And I think it's really awesome to see her ascend this year, just especially in her last year right now she's at 20-5 and has over maybe three or four ranked wins against some awesome teams. And honestly, one of the most impressive things that I think about Chicky is her partnership with her. We have a freshman. And so now you have Chicky, who's, leading. And we talked about that senior leadership and how much growth that she's had in her own game and as a leader. And now she is, this big sister, this teammate, this role model for her partner, who's a freshman and having an incredible year herself. So I just think so much of our success as a team has been because of that leadership. And for Chicky specifically on court three, like her own success, but she's bettering the team by bettering her teammates.
And there's a strategy, I would guess. I'm just theorizing from other sports that are similar. It's not just the two best players are one, the next two best players are team two, and the next two, like you talked about, a senior with a freshman, and there's strategy to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of chemistry. We like to talk a lot about in beach volleyball. It's like being in a relationship. So your partner on the court it's like a relationship. So we spend a lot of time doing maybe like personality tests and how you need to be talked to and when things aren't going well, what you do. So there's so many parallels between a relationship, which is kind of funny in the outside world. But in this case, for Chicky and her partner AG, the senior leadership to freshmen, it just really complements each other aside from their playing abilities, just the way that they're able to communicate. And I think, Chicky's experience that she's had playing all 4 years and the guidance that she can give her freshmen is really a reason for their success.
Tell me your side of that.
I definitely think that this year it's the best year that I've had record wise and everything. But I think that so much of the teams and my success has been just because of my partnership and AG, and she really is such a phenomenal freshman. And every time like we're on the court and playing, it never feels like I'm playing with a freshman. It feels like, wow, like we just play really well together. And it's just been such a fun. She's made my senior year season so enjoyable to play, and obviously makes it even better when you're winning. But I think we just have so much fun on the court, and it's just been such a good season so far. And I'm so excited to keep going.
Keep it going, yeah. So finally, is it kind of natural for you to be a leader and take somebody under your wing? Is that kind of a cool thing?
Yeah, well, actually, every year that I've been here, at least some point, I played with a freshman, and it's always just been I just love playing with the people younger than me, people older, and I've had a million different partners, and it's always just making it the best experience for both of us that we can. And then at the end, if you win, then that makes it even better.
Yeah. Final question, because we want to get the other players on too, but you're not far removed from playing. How many years? 10? Maybe?
Yeah, my last season was in 2016.
Exactly 10. Pretty good on my part. All right. So that's got to help, A. And B, I always ask this for guys that were successful players and successful coaches. Do you coach like you would have liked to have been coached, or have you gravitated towards how you were coached? It may not necessarily, you may surprise yourself that, well, I'm a little tough there. I would never have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that my coaching style is kind of foreign from some of the best coaches that I've had. So 2 of my college coaches were, big reasons. I just kind of picked and choose which things I really liked receiving as a player. And that's really kind of created a lot of the philosophy. One coach being super direct and accountable, another focusing on the whole athlete and bigger picture. So it's been a cool experience being able to develop your own coaching philosophy. And I really don't think that there is a cookie cutter image for a Division I coach. And I think like being authentic is really important in that. And that's something I've just like leaned into.
So your little Danny Hurley and Andy Kennedy come back. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we just saw Danny Hurley on that. Anyway, congratulations on a great year, 16-9 so far.
Yeah.
Still going. And on you, and there's a great success you've had at 20-5 so far this year. We look forward to seeing you guys keep winning.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, that's UAB beats volleyball. Delaney Rose, Olivia Chychrun.
Yes.
Call her Chicky. We'll come back with the number 1 team at beach volleyball in just a moment. Hang on.
Oh yeah, oh no. Oh yeah, let's roll.
Welcome back to the Inferno Pod. Scott Griffin here. Again, Blazers of the Week brought to you by Blazers Mobile. Got a couple more players here. Olivia Stant and Miss Haas, Jasmine Haas. Cincinnati, New Orleans. And you guys have been playing together how long? This is the number 1 team, by the way, on beach volleyball.
2 years.
2 years. So after 2 years, you guys can finish each other's sentences and, swap makeup and all that kind of stuff, right? Basically.
Know each other front and back.
Too well, maybe?
Yeah, maybe sometimes.
Is that good or bad?
We like to think of it as a good way.
And do you room together too?
Yes.
Shouldn't you not room with your partner in beach volleyball?
I mean,
Or is that a good thing?
pros and cons to it.
We're getting right into the meat of the stuff, aren't we? Right immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we learned a lot about each other and we established, what we need to be a good partnership, but also we're best friends. So, we love being around each other all the time. So, it's good.
Is it?
It is.
Olivia, it's your side of it.
Just finding the difference between the court player you are and then you as a person. Making that separation, it just makes everything so much better. So when we're in our apartment, we're, who we are.
Yeah.
But when we're on the court, we are UAB players.
Yeah. Did you guys connect? Because you've been here the whole time. Obviously, this isn't like other sports or folks watching where there's a bunch of transferring and NITs. Everybody's been here for 4 years. So did you know that there was that gravitational pull towards each other before you became partners on the...
We met actually before we even came to college. And we kind of just hit it off right there. So that was really fun. We met in a tournament in Arizona. And then we just kept talking from there. And then freshman year, we were dorm buddies for a little bit. And then we kind of had our own separate growths, different paths we had to go through to know ourselves as adults, in college. But that gravitational pull, as you said, brought us right back together as juniors.
Did you guys pick UAB because of the friendship, or it just happened that way?
It just happened that way. When I committed, I did not know Jazzy. Like you said, we met each other at a tournament in Arizona, and that was our...
It was after you committed.
Correct.
Okay.
So we were already both committed. This was probably, I think, April of our senior year of high school, and I knew that she was already there, so I went up to her. She was wearing UAB gear, and I was like, I'm Olivia. I'll be a freshman with you, and kind of hit it off from there.
That's very cool. So talk a little bit about how this thing has blossomed, the friendship and the on-court, terrific nature of what you guys are doing, being the number 1 team for the last couple of years. Do they grow together? You know what I mean? I don't think you could not be good roommates and everything and then have that go well. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. As Coach Delaney said, we are basically coached to be a good person in a relationship. So we see each other's good sides and bad sides. And we also have a lot of grace for each other, as well as our teammates as well. It's a very personal sport, I would say, because it is very mental. So having grace with each other, like knowing when our good days are, when our bad days are, and how to push through that. And I think having those days on the courts makes outside problems a little bit easier because we already know how to talk to each other and know how to like help each other through hard times, how to celebrate the good times, and just what we need from each other.
Yeah. What would you add to that? You agree?
Yeah, I mean, she said it perfectly. We have worked through a lot. We've talked about how to address each other and help each other through situations. And that's also really worked really well in our friendship as well. When we're going through a hard time, we just always talked it out. And I think that friendship kind of goes back onto the court. You know, if there's any issues, like we just nip it in the butt right there and fix it then. We are very straightforward to each other and just have talked through a lot to be the best partnership we can be.
Yeah. You guys are killing it right now. I mean, your team is 16-9. You've got some upset wins over top 25, a couple of them. You're 4-0 last weekend. I mean, I would guess this is the best volleyball you guys have been playing as a team since you've been here?
Yeah, I would say so. It's been pretty amazing to see where this program has come since our freshman year, the growth that we've made, the players that we can recruit now, and just having our name on the map. People are scared to play us now, and which I think is crazy, and it's so cool that I can go into a tournament and people are afraid and they have to scout us really hard and they can't take us lightly.
You see that? Do you get that feel from opponents?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like we both walk onto the court very confidently and trust our abilities. We know walking into a match it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be given to us. But we have a lot of confidence in ourselves that we can adapt to whatever problem comes our way.
Yeah. And I think we talked about with Delaney, you're real close to getting ranked, which I know would be really cool, right? Top 20.
Amazing.
I mean, it could happen like really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think you are? You guys travel around playing each other. Don't you think you're a top 20 team?
Absolutely. I think we belong to be in the top 20, but it's just, we don't have control over it. We're just going to keep doing what we can do, control our controllables, continue to win as a team. That's our goal. And when the ranked wins come, when we get ranked, like we'll celebrate it 100%.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep doing what we can.
The next thing, as we talked about with Delaney, was also winning conference so that you're not a host at Gulf Shores for the Nationals, right?
Right. That's been goal since we got here. And this year it's so achievable. And I'm so excited just to go to conference. And as I tell the entire team, the season is just preparing us for conference. The wins, the losses, the partnership changes, the moving around seeds, that is all just preparing us for conference. I tell some of our teammates who are struggling, it's okay because you're just getting ready for conference. I don't care what your record looks like going into conference, as long as you get us those wins in conference.
Is being a leader kind of, it seems like, just being around you a few times, it's in your wheelhouse, right? You guys like it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an area of growth for us, 100%. We were not always leaders, and we have just grown a lot to become the leaders we want to be, focusing on seniors that we've had in the past who are captains and using those skills into the team we have now has been super crucial, and the growth has been amazing. Us three leading has been really awesome.
Yeah, which is the way it should be, right? Seniors should, it's like old school sports. Seniors should be the ones leading, right?
Oh, for sure. As long as they have good mindset, good culture to bring to the team, I don't see anything against it.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to do a little fun thing here for a few minutes before we wrap up. Lightning round. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere. It's all over the place. So we ask you anything that comes into my sordid mind, and then, you get the answer. But the one thing I wanted to start with on that is what we talked about a week or so ago, that there is an allure to this sand and the vibe coming from the jukebox, and that's a real thing, right? So give me both of y'all's perspective on that.
Yeah,
As far as an allure to the sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's just so amazing to be able to play in the sun, in the sand, and just with all your friends with like beach music and also getting a tan at the same time. Like, it's amazing. Like, it is truly the best sport out there. I played indoor volleyball for a really long time, and going to beach, it was so amazing. I was like, what have I been doing? Like, this is amazing. So everyone wants to do it. You see people even just on vacation. They have a volleyball in their hand and they're just playing with some friends, but we get to do it competitively, and it's so amazing.
Yeah, so there's something to that, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's so easy to get fans out there too. If it's a nice weekend, like it's 80 degrees, we've got music constantly playing, get to be in the sun, get to watch us cheer on people, and it's so much fun.
So who picks the vibe for the music? Is that seniors, or is it just coaches, or how does that work?
We usually have a DJ, like, meaning like a DJ, like, player. So, like, I'm in charge of music at practice, and
Every practice?
almost every practice, depending
That doesn't
on.
sound very fair.
Well, one person has to connect to the music. Come on.
Okay.
One person connects to the music, but everyone's contributed to the playlist. So we have like a whole playlist, and we have a mixture of music on there. We have pop, we have country music, we have rap on there, we have Disney music on there, like everything. It's a very long
Did you
playlist.
say Disney?
Yes, Disney music. Yeah,
Is that a genre of music that I'm not familiar with?
I mean, it's not.
Music to Disney movies?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, and usually most of the time, like right before practice, like I'll ask the team, like, hey, anybody have any songs they want me to play? And usually I get a lot of requests.
Yeah.
I have like usually 5 songs people want me to play, and I'm like, okay, add it to the queue.
Yeah.
So super easy. So
Is she a good DJ?
Yeah, she's pretty good. She got some of my songs in there.
Do you have to hear the same songs in the apartment?
Not really,
No.
honestly. I mean, most of the time I'm got my headphones and studying or doing something else. So
Which tells you she doesn't like your music. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So you pick it out. What about game day? Same thing?
game day, we usually have marketing in charge of that. So they have a playlist, and yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not you?
No.
So they have their own playlist.
it's pretty good still.
Yeah.
It's all right?
I think like one of our past players, she's contributed to that playlist, and like they've built it up a lot, but no, we don't. We will suggest some songs though, but we are not in charge of it on game day.
All right. So you've heard the question of people are always asked this. Who would you have dinner with? Right? What's the 3 people you would have dinner with in your life that would be cool to sit around and talk to? So since beach volleyball is kind of a thing, and you see it at the Gulf Coast or wherever, people just play it, whether they can play it or not. Not to your level, obviously, but they just play it. So I saw it yesterday at a park here in Birmingham. So who would you want to play beach volleyball with? And please don't name any beach volleyball players that we don't know who they are.
I would love. This is to play with her. It'd be a little crazy because we're 2 defenders. But Misty May, growing up, that was one of my big idols. But recently, when she became big, right before I got to college, Kristen Nuss. She is just a little bit taller than me, but the way she plays, the strategy of the game, I think she plays it amazing and just to her strengths. And it's somebody that I would love to just have like a sit-down conversation with about what she thinks of the game and like what's going through her head as she's playing.
So no celebrities, no other people, or not really? You?
I mean, my 2 from beach volleyball, I would say would be April Ross. She played beach volleyball in the Olympics as well. Amazing volleyball player. And then I'd also say Kristen Nuss as well. She's been big recently. And just truly an inspiration. I feel like celebrities wise, I would say like they don't play volleyball.
No, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like the dinner thing. Everybody could hit the ball over the net, right?
I would love to play with like Michael Jordan. Like, come on.
Michael Jordan? You know anybody like that? That you would? Taylor Swift? No? You're not a Swiftie?
She's not a Swiftie.
You're too old for a Swiftie?
Not a Swiftie. She's
I don't really blame you. Don't get me wrong.
I liked her country music, I'll say, but
Lainey Wilson? Would you play beach volleyball with Lainey Wilson?
see, I don't know who that is. I don't know many celebrities.
You know country music?
A little bit.
Will you educate her? Do you know Delaney?
I
I'm
do.
from the north.
I
I
do.
thought you guys lived together.
We do.
Tonight, you need to play some Laney.
I will.
So she knows.
I'll play it on the way back home in the car.
Go, this is the person.
Yeah.
So besides the beach and everything, what grabs you about what's the number one thing that grabs you about the sport? Is it just competing and winning, or?
Yes, I'm a very competitive person, honestly, all around. But being able to play a sport that I enjoy, but at a very competitive level, I think that's what makes it the most fun for me.
Yeah.
Being able to just go out there and just play my heart out and honestly yell as loud as I can. That's why I have no voice right now. Every weekend, I just haven't had a voice for 2 months now since started.
Yeah.
But being that competitive in a sport that I love has been what's made this sport like the best experience for me.
All right. So who's the cook at home?
I cook a lot, 100%. I know she does.
Does she get to eat it too? Or?
I do cook for her. I do.
Okay. So what's the go-to menu?
Well, the easy thing that I always make is just like a taco bowl, 100%. It's just
This is
easy.
good. Yeah.
Protein in it. I'll make that for her
A
sometimes.
little beef, avocado, what, salsa,
Yeah,
lettuce, normal.
absolutely.
Okay.
But she also does cook as well.
What do you like to cook?
See, I can't cook what I like to cook at home.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of Filipino foods.
Like, what does that mean? Tell us.
Filipino foods, it's like one of my favorites. It's called adobo. It's like pork belly. You just can't really find pork belly around here, and I don't have like my little deep fryer,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be so happy.
Some barbecue places will have pork belly,
Some.
but not everybody. You're right.
There's like tocino, which is Filipino sweet bacon. There's a sweet sausage that we have too.
Yeah.
I eat all that. My grandpa cooks for me. He lives with us at home. So he cooks all these Filipino foods and he teaches me how to make it. My favorite would probably be Olivia, which is spring rolls. Those are so, so good.
Has she done this for you?
No, she doesn't cook that for me.
I can't cook
I know.
it here. There's not like foods that I need. And I don't have a deep fryer either. Have that at home though.
You should get deep fried. Before we go, you are in the nursing program.
I am.
Tell us about that. And that was a big reason why you chose UAB. And then we'll let you talk about your deal too.
Yes. So UAB is the 13th ranked nursing program in the country right now. And one of the special things about it, I can play beach volleyball and do nursing here because our hospitals are on campus.
Yeah, it's
A lot of people like LSU, I think Florida Gulf Coast maybe. But their nursing schools are off campus. So coaches will tell them no because it's so far away. And I think that's one of the cool things around here that we have is that we're able to do that. And I can do both. And it shows that we can excel in both areas. I actually had a 4-hour exam this morning.
Wow.
So I'm a little brain dead,
Did you
Donald.
do all right?
I passed.
Okay, good.
And that's a big deal because it was 4 hours and I did not want to take it again if I didn't pass.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I have clinicals every week. In February, I had it about 2 to 3 times a week, 12-hour shifts, some night shifts. I have one tomorrow, another 12-hour shift. But
And playing volleyball.
And playing. Wow. So sometimes I feel like I don't sit down.
Yeah.
So
But it's worth it, right?
She's
it's
super well.
over.
She is.
It is so
Making you feel bad about what you're doing, right?
I've-
You're just doing a regular still at school.
yeah, I'm like, anytime she's like, I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, me too. And she's like, yeah, I had a 12-hour night shift. And I'm like, oh, I'm not tired anymore. Not tired anymore.
I had a 12-hour sofa shift. So what do you study?
I'm a kinesiology major, so pre-PT.
So physical therapy and nursing. Very cool.
Just accepted a job too.
You did? Where?
That's it. It is at the hospital my mom works at in Cincinnati in the emergency department.
Congratulations. When will that be?
I'll start June 15th.
Great as that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. You got to go to PT school, right?
Yes, that'll be a later thing. I'll be going to play indoors somewhere in the fall. No, I'll be playing in college.
Okay.
I have a 5th year, so I'm gonna go play at Mississippi State in the fall. So
You're right.
yeah, so I'll go do that, and then I'll be applying to PT school during that process, and then the hope would be it would either start in May of 2027 or in August of 2027. So
Gotcha. Congratulations. I hope we get ranked here coming up pretty quickly and we get to the championships at Gulf Shores.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Olivia Stant and Miss Haas. That is our Blazers of the Week. Scott Griffin here, the Inferno Pod. We'll be back.
The if in life, it's a world of possibilities. If you go for a night out with friends, if you can keep an eye on your money along the way, if you know you have overdraft protection with no fee transfers from savings, when you get a low balance alert, it's easier to say yes to fun. If that sounds good, try Regions Life Banking.
Stay ready for the if in life. Regions Bank embrace the if in life.
Welcome back to the Inferno Podcast. Scott Griffin here. This week in Blazer Nation, brought to you as always by Children's of Alabama. We start with softball. The Red Hot coming off that sweep of East Carolina last weekend. They got Memphis this weekend here at UAB. The baseball team's on the road, though, in Boca Raton. They'll take on Florida Atlantic in a big conference series, but we all know baseball is rolling to 18-10 going into this week's competition. Ladies soccer against Alabama A&M. That's 7 o'clock on April 2nd there. Beach volleyball. We talked to them, of course, this week. They're on the road in Atlanta for the Georgia State tournament. That's got Georgia State, Mercer, North Alabama, and South Florida there. That'll be downtown Atlanta. Women's golf at the Carolina Challenge Cup. That's in Chapel Hill, North Carolina on April 4th. Women's tennis also on the road to Jonesboro, Arkansas, taking on Arkansas State, the Red Wolves there. UAB men's golf at the Golf Week Stifle Challenge will be April 5th. We've got a couple of more events on that same day. Women's tennis against North Alabama. That'll be down here at the Hoover Met, while the men will be playing North Alabama up there in Florence. So both of those teams play in the same school, but differing where they're playing them there. So that's a busy schedule, as always, with spring sports here on the Blazer Nation, brought to you by Children's of Alabama. Our thanks to the Beach volleyball team and Coach Delaney Rose for hanging out with us. Hopefully they'll be in that top 25 really quickly and be able to get to the championship there. Thanks to all the people that make the Inferno Podcast go and really grow. We appreciate you liking and subscribing. Scott Griffin saying so long for this week. Thanks for watching the Inferno Podcast.